morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me today at the redpillinvestor.com, as well as my YouTube channel on Sell More Homes Now. We're going to go ahead and have a fantastic time doing some prospecting today. If you're the first time joining me here, then I certainly am very grateful that you've joined me here on the podcast. If you found us from iTunes or from Google, or perhaps you've learned about the podcast from the YouTube channel itself, well, welcome. I'm certainly glad that you're here. If you've never heard of the podcast, if you've never heard of my YouTube channel and you're just coming to us from the podcast, then I would certainly recommend that you go ahead and check out my YouTube channel at Sell More Homes Now. It's all one word, just Sell More Homes Now, where every single day I'm out here prospecting, looking for leads, looking for buyers and sellers who are out there trying to sell their properties. And while we're at it, we're going through some useful news. Today is absolutely no exception. I've got some great news for you today. Today, we're going to discuss a couple of things. We're going to discuss how drip campaigns are killing your sales. Yeah, I mean, if you're one of these people, these agents who likes to do a drip campaign to your buyers, let me tell you how that is killing your sales according to the National Association of Realtors. Then I thought we might jump into what millennials are willing to give up to own a home. I mean, if you're a real estate agent, if you're a homeowner, if you're a home investor, then millennials are certainly a group of people that you're going to try to market to. And if you're going to market to them, then you need to understand what millennials are willing to give up in order to buy the property they say they want. Then we're going to go ahead and cover some of the 6 ethics issues today. Hopefully, if we have time, God willing, we're going to have a lot of people picking up the phone today. And so it'll be a little bit tricky to see if we'll be able to get through all of those. So we'll take a look at some of the top ethics issues that realtors are getting themselves fined over. That way you'll know what to steer clear of. And then, of course, we'll also be sure to check into a fake real estate agent who was posing as a real estate agent. He was arrested in an open house. And this is something you're definitely going to be wanting to be aware of if you're a broker. If you're an investor, if you've got a property that you're holding open for any reason, then you definitely are going to want to hear this story. All right, well, so that's what we've got covered for today. If you are just joining this, then please, if you think this is of any value, I would hope that you'd share it on your social network. Let's go ahead and get started. It is 7:55. Let's go ahead and get started by taking this to the Lord in prayer. Lord, thank you so much for this day. We are very grateful for everything that you've given us. I just ask that you'd open up the ears of the people who are hearing this today, that they would hear something new that would be helpful to them. Lord, I'd ask that you'd open up my mouth, that I would say something that's helpful, that it would be good, that would be useful to the people who hear it. Lord, I pray for those who are going to pick up the phone. I know many of them are going to be angry. I just pray that your grace would go to them and help them understand we're only here to help. Lord, in these things, for Jesus' name we pray, amen. All right, let's go ahead and get started with today's prospecting. It's 7:56. If you are just starting your prospecting, then you may be aware that you can't necessarily prospect before 8 o'clock in the morning where you are. And so the question comes up, well, gosh, how do you prospect? Remember that 8 o'clock rule, the federal rule saying that you can't prospect from 8 in the morning, until 8 in the morning until 8 o'clock at night. That's talking about people in your zip code, right? So if you're calling people outside your zip code, it could be 8 o'clock where they are. So for example, here in Tucson right now, it's 7:55, but it's 8:55, in Colorado or, Missouri, right? So people back east, I can call 7 in the morning or whatnot, and they're probably not getting a lot of calls. There's just not a lot of realtors, I've noticed, who get in the office before 8 a.m. If you want to have a significant advantage over people in your marketplace, one of the first pieces of advice that I might be able to give to you is to go ahead and begin your prospecting sessions early. And the reason why is because there's less distractions. Okay. Hang on just a second here. So there's less distractions. So for example, in my particular circumstance today, we're going to have an office meeting here in about an hour. So I'm not going to have a whole lot of time to prospect. I'm going to be able to prospect for just maybe 45 minutes to an hour. Then I'm going to have to quit. I'm going to have to go to the office meeting for about an hour, hour and a half. And then of course, there's other things that come up after that. I got a meeting after that. So prospecting, a lot of times people don't prospect simply because they just don't have the time. They feel that it's a good idea to prospect later on in the afternoon. And I would agree with that. I mean, I've had a lot of people tell me, gosh, Carl, there's so many people that pick up the phone between 4 and 6. I certainly would agree with that. That's a far superior time to consider doing prospecting. However, the problem is not so much the time. The problem is us. The reality.
Subscriber you have called is not available.
The reality is it's very difficult in the end of the day to generate the amount of enthusiasm, the amount of energy, the positive energy that you need to prospect. Because after
Hello.
Good morning. This is Carl Krenzel. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm better than I deserve. Thank you. I'm not sure if I have the right person. I apologize. Are you the fellow who happens to own that property in Tucson on Calle Vaqueros?
No.
Oh.
But where are you speaking about?
Yes, sir. My name is Carl.
Because I have a partner who owns it. Yeah, I have a partner who owns.
Okay. Yeah, it's 10461. It was owned by the Hollands?
No.
Oh gosh. Okay, I have no idea how I got a hold of you. I apologize. Well, listen, I know this is sort of maybe a weird question. Do you happen to know anybody here in Tucson who's got an unwanted home I could buy for cash?
No, honestly, I don't.
Okay, no problem. Well, listen, I appreciate your day, and I appreciate you, and I hope you have a great day. Okay.
You too.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, wrong number. Remove that. Count that. Good. Okay. The problem is you just don't generate the enthusiasm. You don't generate the excitement that you need to prospect in the afternoon. It's not that the afternoon is a problem. It's just that you're not all that good in the afternoon. So if you're trying to figure out your schedule, right? You've got essentially 2 times in the day that are primed for prospecting. You've really got, say, 8 in the morning to 10, and then you got 4 to 6, okay? Or maybe even 5 to 7 or even 6 to 8 if you wanted to, right? Those 2 times each day are probably the best times of the day during the week in which you can contact people. The problem with the afternoon thing is your customer is very tired too. If they've been working really long, some people have these 12-hour shifts. Firefighters, nurses, police officers, people in that kind of job, they work 12-hour shifts. It's very difficult sometimes for them to, be in that mindset at the end of the day. So maybe sometimes it's a better idea to consider just going ahead and contacting them early in the morning. And yes, there's no good time to take an unwanted call. I get it.
Hello.
Hi, you know what? I think I got the wrong number. Sorry about that. Have a great day. Take care. All right. Delete that. Delete that. Okay, hang on just a second, guys. There we go. I wanted to delete that one because that one I know that particular property. I'm not really interested in that one in the first place. So let's go ahead and get into the news of the day. So let's start off by talking about how drip campaigns are killing your sales. This is an article from Jason Forrest from the National Association of Realtors. He wrote this back in November of 2016. He writes an article to us about essentially eliminating the decisions. I think that's probably the best way to summarize this article. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Sell More Homes Now, you can see the article right here that I'm holding up, how drip campaigns are killing your sales. The best way to summarize, I think, this article. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning. This is Carl Krenzel. How are you today?
Please take me off your call list.
Well, I'm not sure if I have the right person. Are you the people who own that property in Marana on Soaring Dove? Okay. Not sure how to take that, but we'll say no. All right, good deal. So, talking about a well-known psychological process, he writes, when prisoners are up for parole, there's one surprising factor that has a huge effect on the likelihood they'll be released. It has nothing to do with the potential parolee's ethnicity, behavior, or length of sentence, or even the severity of their crime. In fact, it has nothing to do with the prisoner at all. The phenomenon explained in...
Hello.
Good morning, this is Carl Krenzel. How are you today?
Okay.
I'm not sure if I have the right
Is this
person.
about the house?
Yeah, have I got the right place? Is that your property? Quick hang up. Okay. All right, no worries. What we'll do is we will skip that for right now. Keep on going. All right. This phenomenon explained in detail in this New York Times article. Let's see here. There we go. Shows that early in the day, people tend to have an easier time making decisions, while later in the day, they delay them due to what's known as decision fatigue. That means parolees with the earliest appointments are the most likely to find their way to freedom. Now, this phenomenon that he's bringing up is the prisoner phenomenon. Basically, it is affecting the decision tree of a person, right? So the question is, what is it about this decision-making process that makes it very difficult for people to buy property? And what we're discovering here is that when you, as a broker or an agent, start putting people on drip campaigns, okay? This is particularly common with a buyer's agent. When you have somebody who's come to you in an open house or whatever, and they're saying, we're looking for such and such or X, Y, and Z, and you put them on an email drip campaign.
0, 6.
Many times you tend to think that you're doing your customer a good service because you're giving them information. In reality, however, when you start doing this, when you start learning every detail of what a buyer wants and start personally presenting only the most appropriate homes like that, then they're able to go ahead and make a decision. If you can find out specifically what they're looking for and specifically the area, and you can tailor make what they're seeing to exactly that, then there's fewer decisions that need to be made. And it's easier for a customer to make a decision. Conversely, if you send a lot of things to them, for example, if you're having a difficult time trying to understand how your buyer is just not making a decision, that's commonly where this is the biggest problem. Oh, this is interesting. OfferPad is the expired listing that I'm calling here. Oh, this is interesting. So the tax record shows that OfferPad is the actual owner of this property that they bought, and it is an expired listing. Oh, there's just something deep in my soul, I got to say, happy about that. Well, in any event, essentially, if you could try it, maybe looking at it in a different way.
Thank you for calling Safe Streets USA, your authorized ADT provider. This call may be recorded for quality assurance purposes.
Okay.
If you know the extension of the person that you are calling, you may dial it.
All right, that's not who I want. All right. The article puts down a good way for us to help understand this principle. It says, if your agents are having trouble understanding how to make it easy for buyers to buy, try this contrasting example. Apple has made it remarkably easy to spend loads of money at its stores. You can walk out with a $2,500 computer in under 8 minutes. I know this because I've done it. On the other end of the spectrum, there's Nordstrom Rack. I made it through the mountains of clothes, and after spending way too much trying on everything, I had filled a whole shopping cart with items I was ready to buy, but then the line, dear God, the line was just so long, I couldn't.
Hi, you've reached Manny Garcia with Elite Packaging.
I just couldn't handle it. I was no longer willing to endure all the hoops they were making me go through just to give them my money. I abandoned my overloaded cart, and they lost what could have been a $2,000 sale. If they'd taken a simple lesson from Apple or even Chick-fil-A, they would have had 2 or 3 clerks on the Square credit card readers walking down the aisle, checking out everyone in 10 minutes. Think of it this way. This is critical for you to understand as a realtor or as an investor. If you've blazed out and not listened to anything I've said so far, listen to this. Think of it this way. People work to make money so they can buy things to improve their lives. The last thing they want to do is work to spend money. That's critical. For you and I as a buyer, for you and I as an investor or an agent, our buyers, our end-use consumers, whether it be a rehabber who's buying a property from you, whether it be a buyer who's buying your rehabbed property, it doesn't matter if you're an agent working with a buyer, whoever the buyer in your scenario is, they're not coming to you to spend money and working all this time just for the heck of it. They're working to make their life easier. If they're buying an investment property, it's so they can make money. And if you make the process difficult, hard, even harder to get through, difficult to make choices, then they just abandon the whole process. Perhaps you've been in this similar situation. Have you ever driven by a restaurant, let's just say, and you thought to yourself, well, gosh, I'd like a steak at that restaurant, but holy cow, look at the line. There's just no way that I'm going to wait 45 minutes for a steak. There's no steak on the planet that's worth a 45-minute wait, right? Maybe that's the way you feel. And if your customers, your buyers are the same mindset, they're trying to buy a property, they're trying to make it easy, and here you are sending them home after home after home on email drips, or drip campaigns, and then you're trying to be helpful, you're trying to give them more information because you think that's what you need to do. And guess what? You're confusing them. When you give people a lot of options, you bring them confusion. You don't bring them clarity. The purpose of a real estate agent, the purpose of an investor, in my mind, the purpose of a salesperson, consultant, if you will, doesn't matter what kind of phonetics or semantics you want to put on it, whatever you want to choose to call yourself, a salesman, consultant, however you want to choose, your purpose is to help shorten the decision time, to help simplify the decision tree, and to make it comfortable for your customer to buy the property. To me, and I might be wrong, and I frequently am, but to me, a person who does that makes that decision tree easy. The decision's less. It's a lot easier for me to decide what I need and if it's going to work for me. That's going to be a benefit to me. And I don't mind working and spending the money if it saves me the time and gets me what I want. The article continues, it says, a frenemy is a business breaker that comes disguised as a friend. An agent's drip campaign, even when it fits the broad stroke guidelines the buyer has asked for, is the ultimate.
Hello.
Hi there, this is Carl Krenzel. How are you today?
Good.
I'm not sure if I have the right person. I apologize. I was looking for the owner of a property over there on Camino San Bacchus. Is that your property, sir?
It is listed.
Oh, perfect.
Unlisted.
Oh, perfect. Okay, great. Yeah, I'm an agent here in town. Which agent did you end up listing it with? It was your last one or is it a different one?
It's the same agent.
Okay, great. I'll look it up. Thank you so much for your time, okay?
You're welcome.
Have a great day. Bye-bye. Okay. Listed. Boom. All right. Says the frenemy, it says, even when it fits the broad stroke guidelines and a buyer has asked for, is the ultimate frenemy. Frenemy. A frenemy is a business breaker that comes disguised as a friend. So many real estate pros have become dependent on them, but they are not what they think they are. They will kill your
You
sales.
have reached the voicemail box of 62360.
Says that they will kill your sales. Don't give buyers another item on their to-do list or another email in their inbox. Instead, hello? Hello? Hello, hello, hello? Instead, it says, make it easy. Make it easy, very easy for your buyers to buy. And how do you do that? Well, you do that by taking everything you possibly can off their plate. I mean, think about it. Your buyer is super busy. And if you're a real estate agent, they're coming to you to ask for you to help them take those.
Southwest, can I help you?
Oh my goodness. You know what? I think I have the wrong number.
Oh yeah, this is Southwest Hair Design.
Oh
Sorry.
my goodness. Well, God bless your heart. It's a shame too, because you sound like a really nice lady.
Oh, thank you, honey.
All right. Well, you have a great day.
Number.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. All right. So hang on a second here. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So, I mean, ultimately, people come to you because you're the easiest person to work with. If you're a wholesaler, it's the same way. Your buyers, the end-use consumers that you're trying to work with, the cash buyers that you're selling these wholesale properties to, they're looking for a simple deal, something that's very easy without a lot of complications. And if you make things very difficult, if you make things very hard for them, if you make things where they have to keep coming up to ask questions, or they're just going to find somebody else and something else. And that is where you're going to lose. Boy, I hope that doesn't happen to you. Let's move on to the next article. Today's article, another one, what millennials are willing to give up to own a home. This also comes to us from the National Association of Realtors. I don't know if you're a realtor or not, if you typically watch Realtor Magazine's ads and their online, I'm sorry, not their ads, but their articles in their online magazines, a lot more easier for me, I should say, to use their online magazines. It's easier for me to find articles that are of value to me. And this one was written May 31st, 2019. Was written here. Let's see if we can find the author's name, get some credit. Yeah, it looks like it was written by Chase Home Lending. So we'll give credit where credit is due. Chase
has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Good folks over at Chase Home Lending decided to go ahead and help us out with this report. Says that young adults are all about making sacrifices and lifestyle trade-offs to get them on the path to home ownership, according to a new survey of 1,000 millennials ages 22 to 38 by Chase Home Lending. Wow. Okay. All about making sacrifices and lifestyle trade-offs to get them onto the path of home ownership. Okay. Says 70% of young adults say they're willing to cut back on weekend activities such as shopping, going to the movies, splurging at the spa at least once a month if it meant they could purchase a home in the next 12 months, a survey shows. Okay. I'm just going to take this in for a moment. Let me see if I can digest this. So the way that I'm understanding this, people age 22 to 38, 70% of those people say that they're willing to set things aside if it means that they can go ahead and purchase a home in the next 12 months. It says that women tend to be more willing than men to adjust their lifestyle in order to achieve home ownership more quickly. Well, that's an absolute truth. I mean, if you look at the statistics, you'll see very...
Hi, I'm sorry I can't get to the phone right now.
If you look at the statistics, you'll see that millennial women are typically the ones, I think the statistic was 64% of them were homeowners. It was a far larger amount than single men who are millennials. Millennial men didn't really seem to feel like home ownership was a big issue for them. However, for women, it was. It said 71% of female respondents say they're willing to limit eating out to once per week if it set them up for the home buying success in the next 12 months. And that's out. Good morning.
Hello, this is Booting. Please leave me a quick message.
When you think about it, that's probably similar to what you're experiencing in your marketplace too. I suspect that if you look at the people in your marketplace, the buyers that you're dealing with, more often than not, it's the women in the group that are generally a little bit more mature than men. Men tend to take a little bit longer. Homeownership's not always a big priority for men when they're young and starting out. I remember for my own property, it took me a while to kind of get my own as well. I think I was probably 30, I think, when I got my first property by myself. And so I could certainly understand this here. It says that they want to hear more about real estate topics too. More than 2/3 of millennial first-time home buyers surveyed said that they want to talk about home buying topics like affordability, home buying journey, neighborhood options with their friends. It says that this shows that they value the opinions and knowledge of their peers. Now, here's something to take away from this. As the market starts to change, and this is nationwide, I don't care where you are. It doesn't matter if you're in California or Washington, Florida, or any part in between. The market itself is changing, okay? By and large, across the United States, we're starting to see pooling in effect in inventories. And because of this pooling, it takes longer for properties to sell, and prices themselves have remained cool or started to stagnate in certain places. Does not mean that things are going down or the market's crashing or any of these things like that. No, but what this does mean is that the market itself, as it changes, people are going to want to know more about it. And your job as a realtor, as an investor, as a realtor investor in particular, is to be able to outline and advise the public on what they ought to do with regards to homeownership. And this study indicates that 71% of these female respondents who are millennials
You have reached the voicemail
say that
box.
they're willing to do whatever it takes to get a property in the next 12 months, and they're more motivated to do it, and they're willing to discuss these home buying topics with their friends, and they look on social media for tips. That says 50% of men are likely to engage with a post about a home buying topic on social media. So my question to you, realtor, investor, what specifically are you doing to keep these people in your mind? Okay, sure. Maybe if you're an investor, a flipper, maybe a wholesaler, maybe you're not necessarily marketing to a millennial, but perhaps, let's say, maybe you are. Maybe you are trying to get into that first-time home buyer market. And one of the things that they're going to want to know, okay, it says millennials are hyper focused on their personal path to home ownership. This is Amy Bonabatis, the Chief Marketing and Communications Officer for Chase Home Lending, said both mature and modern, they understand that this is a momentous decision and are completely committed to making it a reality. Despite common misconceptions, they're planning ahead, making smart financial decisions, and are willing to adjust their current lifestyle to make homeownership possible. Listen, a lot of these kids who I don't even know why I should call them kids. They're not kids, they're adults. 22 to 38, you're an adult, right? A lot of these adults, 22 to 38, grew up remembering the housing market crash. Now, they remember what it was like when mom and dad, or maybe mom, or maybe just dad, or whatever their financial, whatever their home life was at that time. They might remember when mom or dad was on their knees praying about the bills and, oh my gosh, we're going to lose the house, and they're all worried. And a lot of people take that with them. And that's a very scarring event for a first world millennial sometimes. For them, if somebody's lost their home when they were growing up due to foreclosure, they're going to have some very, very serious concerns about buying another property because they are not going to want to repeat their father's or their mother's mistake. And that's understandable. Gosh, I can't tell you how important it was for me as a child growing up not to complete the same mistakes my family members made. And I suspect it's the same thing for you. So taking this into account, when we're looking at the millennials that are around us who are buying the properties that we're flipping and repairing and selling, they're asking questions in social media and trying to figure out what are the things that we need to do to get a property. And as the market starts to increase and cool off and get more properties available, they're going to start having more and more questions. And this is where I think you have a unique opportunity. If you're an agent or an investor who doesn't mind getting out in front of the public and prospecting on a regular basis, talking to people like we're doing right here, setting appointments, getting out in the midst of the people every day, then I think what you're going to find is you're going to have an ability to go ahead and find the deals that these millennials want. You're going to be able to start communicating with these people, and you're going to find the things that they want in their homes, and you're going to be able to become a little bit more adept at providing the service they need. So I hope that was helpful. Hello?
You here?
Oh, good morning. This is Carl. How are you today?
Oh, I didn't even I just picked up the phone. This is crazy. Okay, Casey, he's a welder. I told you Ken's cousin when I went out with him and his girlfriend.
Okay.
Well, he works for a different welding company now, but these guys all work on the side, so he needs help installing. So he asked me if I want to work today.
Okay.
He's paying me $20 an hour cash.
That's awesome. I think that's great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, so he should be pulling up anytime.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's going to be so hot out there.
Yes, ma'am, it certainly will. I appreciate it, and it sounds like it's great news, and God bless you for it. I think it's good, but I think you're talking to the wrong person. I think you mistook me for somebody else. My name's Carl Krenzel.
Oh my gosh! Do you know what for her?
It's okay. It's okay. No worries. I might even have the wrong number. I apologize, but I'm super happy that you get that you're getting paid. Like that's a great pay. But I'll be super brief.
Oh, thank you.
The property on Los Reales. I'm a broker here in town. Is that y'all's property?
It is.
Is that still available, or did you guys sell that, or whatever happened with that?
Oh, no, we relisted it with somebody else. And
it just
went back on.
Perfect. Great. May I ask how much y'all are asking for that now?
Well, we put a range
for
offers between 400 and 425.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, let me do what I can to get a buyer for you. Okay, great. And listen, I hope you guys have a great day.
That would be great. I'm sorry for blabbing your ear out this morning.
That's quite all right. Stranger. Yeah, no, don't even worry about it. And you stay out of that heat today. All right. Bring lots of water.
That's where I'm going to be in that.
Well, bring lots of water, and I'll be praying for you. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
You have a wonderful day. All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Bye. God bless. All right. Relisted. See, there's no reason why you guys can't have a good time while you're prospecting. I mean, if you put a smile on your face, you'd be happy. You'd be nice to people. You'd be surprised what kind of results you're going to get. If you just put a smile on your face and show yourself to be friendly, I think many times you'd be surprised. Let's go ahead and jump into the next article for today. The 6 top ethics issues today. Ooh, boy. Now, if you are a realtor who invests, you probably know that I'm writing a book about wholesaling as an investing realtor and the things that you need to be aware of. There's a lot of things that you need to be aware of that you can do this properly and ethically. Plus, there's a lot of things that you can do that maybe a regular wholesaler can't do. And that book's going to outline a lot of the benefits of investing as a realtor and some of the things you need to know. But today, we're going to talk about something a little bit different. We're going to talk about just general ethics issues as a realtor when we're talking about listing and selling property. And I'm bringing this to your attention because if you're a realtor who invests, then you really do need to know that there is a huge target right on your back. Okay? You have E&O insurance, you have your company, you have all kinds of liabilities many times that you don't even think about. If you're wholesaling property, if you're flipping on, let's say, an assignment of contract, let's say, flipping the paper, well, you may or may not know this, but your E&O insurance, your errors and omissions insurance as a realtor, that's not going to help you. It's not going to cover you, and it certainly will not protect you in the unlikely event that you get sued. So it's important for you to do everything that you can, as legally as you can, as ethically as you can, to avoid even the appearance of evil. Because, look, I don't know if you've ever responded to an ethics charge, but if you've ever done that, if you've ever had the pleasure of responding to it, even if it's not true, spending the time, the hours, the paperwork, the laborious explanation about what happened, that's just not worth your time. You have to take a hard look at what your time is really worth. If you're telling yourself, good morning, this is Carl Krenzel. How are you today?
I'm sorry, can barely hear you.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry. My name is Carl Krenzel. Is that better?
Yeah, what can I do for you?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. I might actually have the wrong number. I apologize. I was looking for the Andrades. They own a property over there on Tapia Drive. Is that your property?
Yeah, you have yes. You know what? So many people have been calling my phone. And,
God bless your heart.
It's just so frustrating.
Do I have the wrong number?
You do.
Oh, geez. I'm so sorry. All right. Well,
yeah, and you guys must be just so desperate to have like 20 calls in a row yesterday.
Yeah?
It's just really sad. Yeah, good luck.
Well, listen, Amy, you have a great day. Well, your name's not Amy, is it? Yeah. Well, you see, guys, this is where you have to really just take it with a grain of salt because, people, you can't be mad at her, right? It's not her fault that it's the wrong number. You can't hold it against her. Don't take it personally. Mike Ferry taught me something that I would pass on to you. You never want to take somebody's opinion of your prospecting personally, okay? Unless they're paying your bills, their opinion means nothing. Quite honestly, it does not matter what your opinion of my prospecting is. If you don't like my prospecting, great, pay my bill. If you're not willing to pay my bill, then you need to shut your mouth. If you're not willing to shut your mouth, then you need to have some kind of other, figure something out because I'm not going to stop prospecting. All right, let's go ahead and keep starting here. Let's get back over to, we called all the expires, we called all the cancels. Let's go ahead and jump over here to some for sale by owners. Let's see here. Where are we going to go? For sale by owners, my leads. Imported. Here we go. And dial. Okay. So let's go ahead and dial. See what happens these. Dial. And go. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. So I don't want to call this person. They're out in Green Valley. That's a little too far where I want to go. How about this next one here? Sarita? Nope, that's too far. I don't want to go there either. See, I think sometimes, guys, you have to also be aware of where you're going because many of the times the places that you're calling are too far for your buyers or too far for your sellers. If you're a listing agent, then that's one thing. If you're a wholesaler, it's very difficult to buy property way out in the middle of nowhere and expect people to buy it from you. That's very hard. So these 6 top ethics issues today, let's go ahead and start talking about some of these ethical issues. This is from Bruce 8, dated July 13th, 2016. Says technology is raising a host of ethics issues.
Hello, this is Michael, certified in craniosacral therapy and growing.
Okay, all right. It says that, but some of the biggest issues continue to be those that recur year after year, such as matters involving property disclosure and settlement procedures. Okay, yeah, I mean, if you've been a realtor for more than a day, then you know that disclosure, dual agency or agency disclosure issues or failure to disclose and settlement issues, RESPA violations, those tend to be the highest ethics complaints that you'll...
Hello.
Hey, this is Carl Krenzel. How are you today?
Fine.
I'm not sure if I have the right person. Are you the lady who has that house for sale by owner over there on 20th?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Do you even own a home on 20th Street?
Huh?
Do you even own a home on 20th?
Yes, I own. Yes, I am the owner.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. Okay. Is the home still available for sale?
Yes, it is. We're having an open house on Saturday, 1 to 4.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, I'm a broker here in town. Are you guys cooperating with agents who bring buyers by?
Well, we live out of town, so we're having to do it by appointment or the open house.
Oh, no. I agree. I understand. I misunderstand. I guess what I meant was if, let's say I was to bring a buyer by at some point, let's say I take a look at your open house this Saturday. You said it was Saturday or Sunday?
Mm-hmm. Saturday.
Okay, great. Let's say I was to take a look at it on Saturday and I found some, oh yeah, I know a guy who'd like this and they were to make an offer on it. Would you pay some kind of commission on that?
My husband takes care of that end of it. I know nothing about that.
Okay, no problem.
So, and I'm actually just leaving a doctor's office.
Okay, no problem. Well, when would be a good time for me to catch up with you again or him?
You can call us back later today.
Okay, yeah, be happy to. And I'm sorry, what was your husband's name? Who should I call for?
Howard.
Howard. Okay, great. All right. And your name was what again?
Andrea.
Andrea, thank you so much. You are a nice lady. I appreciate your time. I look forward to talking to you later. Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
Have a great day.
You too.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So in this particular case, one of the things that I've sort of discovered, and this is just me, right? I see open house on Saturday, 1 to 4, right? There we go. So when let's see here, talk to Howard. When a spouse says something to the effect of, my husband's in charge, my wife knows this.
Hey, this is Dave. Call me back at your convenience. Thank you.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up.
Hang on just a second. Let me get this closed. When a homeowner tells you that,
Hello.
oh, hi, my name's Carl. I'm not sure if I got the right place. I was looking for Frank. Frank around? Yeah, there we go. Let's delete that one. I didn't want to deal with that property right there. Okay. When a homeowner tells you that, then many times it's because they just simply don't know. And there's no use in sitting there just, peppering them with questions or anything like that. It's just a lot easier just to go ahead and say, okay, no problem. Well, when's a good time for me to call Frank back or Howard or whoever, right? Let's see. Let's keep on trucking here. These FSBOs are picking up pretty quick, so I may not get a chance to go through the entire...
Hello, this is Beatriz.
Hi, Beatriz. This is Carl Krenzel. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
I am better than I deserve. Thank you. I'm not sure if I have the right person. Are you the owner of that home on Niabra Way?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. I'm a broker here in town who buys property. Is that property still for sale or did you end up selling that already?
Yeah, no, it's still for sale.
Okay.
We have several people interested, but no offers yet.
Okay, no problem. I bet you do. It's a beautiful looking home. Is it currently on the MLS or is it still for sale by owner?
It's still for sale by owners. It's on Zillow and a couple of other sites. We just posted it.
Okay, great, no problem. Very quickly, if I was to bring a buyer by who would pay a price and terms that you could be acceptable to, would you pay some form of commission for that?
Yeah, we're gonna pay the 3% for the buyer's agent.
Okay, great.
But no seller's agent.
No worries, worries. Well, I appreciate that. Well, thank you for a lot of people don't even think about that. So thank you for taking.
Yeah, no, but I understand. I mean, some buyers already have they have agents.
Yes, of course.
So we understand.
No worries.
Yeah.
Well, when would be a good time for me to swing on by and take a quick peek at your property? Have you got some time tomorrow or the next day?
Well, you know what? The property is occupied. I have tenants, but today my boyfriend, who is my partner, he'll be there at 3:00 with some to show it to other people.
Okay.
Interested.
Okay.
So if you would like to come by at 3:30, and then you can take a look at it if you have time. Today will be a good day because we're already disturbing the tenants.
Of course, no, I understand.
So,
I'm curious. How long is your tenant going to be in the property? How long is their lease?
the lease ends at the end of this month.
Oh, okay,
so
perfect.
The property will be available on July 1st.
Okay,
yes.
Great, perfect. Okay. Unfortunately, I have a listing appointment at 3:00. Somebody's going to hire me to sell their home. Is there another time that you think you might be showing that property? I know you got tenants. It's going to be difficult. Is there another time you think you might be showing it?
Can you come by earlier?
I could swing by like at 2. Would 2 work?
Yeah, I think 2:00. I can arrange that. 2:00.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then I'll be there at 2:00, and I'll be there. I'll just get in and out. I won't even bother your people or your boyfriend at all. What's your boyfriend's name?
Jim Smith.
Jim?
Jim, yes.
Okay, great. All right. Well, then, and I'll be meeting Jim there, right?
Yeah, you'll be meeting Jim.
Okay.
And tell them they'll probably be there. I told them they don't have to leave the house because they have 3 little girls.
Yeah,
I don't want them to have to leave their home, especially afternoon when they're making dinner or whatever.
No, that's no problem. That's no problem at all.
They'll probably be there, but they're keeping the house very clean and nice, and they won't be in the way.
That's no problem at all. Okay, great. Well, then I will look forward to. No, don't
kick him out.
No. Don't apologize. Yeah, don't apologize. That's fine. That's no problem at all. And I will look forward to seeing John there at 2:00 today.
Yeah, and you can talk to Jim about anything that has to do with the house. He's helping me, and he has my.
Well, then I'll talk to
everything to do with it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have your name again. I'm sorry.
Sure, Carl, Karl. Carl,
Okay, Carl.
And I will look forward to seeing him there at 2:00.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Carl.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're just going to set that right there. Now, I think it's important, to remember with for sale by owners is that this is a process that you go through. With for sale by owners, what you're really looking for is a couple things. You're looking for somebody who has a problem, somebody who has equity, and somebody who has motivation. That's the 3 key things I think that you need to have when you're dealing with a for sale by owner. In this particular case, before I go out there, obviously I'll check the scene. I'll see what kind of equity they have. I'll see what kind of, price.
Hello.
Hi, this is Carl Krenzel. How are you?
Good.
I'm not sure if I have the right place. I apologize. I'm looking for the owners of a home on Lady Slipper. Is that your property?
Yes, that's my daughter's.
Oh,
yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Well, I'm a broker here in town. I was calling to see if it was still available. Is it? Or did they end up selling it already?
It is.
Perfect. Okay. I'm wondering, do you happen to know if I was to bring a buyer by who'd be willing to pay a price and terms that, your daughter would be willing to accept, would she be willing to pay some form of commission on that? Or do you happen to know? Hello? Hello? Okay. Not sure what happened there, but okay. Oh, that's what happened. Looks like I hung up on her. Oops. I was sitting there moving this thing around and I accidentally hung up on her. That's not going to work at all. Holy cow. Okay, let's try it one more time. Let's see here. Let's dial this up. Let's see. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's try this again. Ugh. All right, dial. Resume it. There wasn't too many for sale by owners left. Yeah, just 2. Okay, so I don't know that we'll be able to dial these for sale by owners too much, but we've called all the for sale by owners. We've called all of the expired and canceled listings. And we've set one preview appointment on a property that's not too far from my 3 o'clock appointment today. So I don't mind stopping by. If it was on the other side of town, then I would have
Welcome to Storm.
a little bit of an issue. All right, let's turn this around maybe so I won't turn the phone off next time. All right, there we go. And redial. Okay. So with a for sale by owner, you want to think about them. This is a thing in steps. You don't want to assume that a for sale by owner is going to. Hi, this is Carl Krenzel. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Boy, I'm better than I deserve. Thank you. I'm not sure if I've got the right. I'm not sure if I got the right guy. I apologize in advance. I'm looking for the owner of a property that's for sale by owner on Hartwick. Is that your property, sir? Oh,
yes.
Perfect. Okay, I'm a broker here in town who buys property. Is that still available, or did you end up selling that, or whatever happened?
No, it's still available.
Okay.
We haven't really done much with it because it's an estate situation.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And my mom recently passed, and we're just sort of working our way through it.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry to hear about that.
It is still available.
Okay. I'm curious, is the property need any kind of work, or is it in pretty good shape? Can you tell me a little bit about it?
It needs paint.
Okay.
And in reality, flooring.
Okay. All right. Well,
that's it. It's a nice place. It's very reasonable. What's your first name?
Yes, sir. My name is Carl, Karl, and I'm sorry I never did get yours.
Joe.
Joe, pleasure to meet you, Joe. Well, when would be a good time for me to come out and take a quick look at the place?
We're probably, Carl, because we're actually up in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
It probably won't be for I'll be very candid with you.
Please.
We would very much want to sell it without a lot of work and hassle.
Okay.
You sell it as is, without any work or hassle. But we are pretty firm that there's 5 siblings involved, and I know my mother would want us to get a reasonable price out of it.
Sure.
And we've already had a couple people look at it. We actually looked at, we actually had an offer from, Open Door.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
Well, we had that.
Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead. Joe? Hey, Joe? 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 Joe, can you hear me? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to call Joe right back, but we're going to call him directly because I'm not sure what happened with that. And that is not something we want to leave on the hook. That's a possibility there that we'll definitely want to follow up with here. Let's see what's going on.
Hi.
Hey, Joe.
So I lost you.
No problem. It's
I
internet.
was rambling, brother. Where did I leave off at?
No problem. Yeah, the last I heard was that you got some sort of offer at OfferPad, and I said I was sorry about that. That was the last thing I heard.
See that you jinxed us. Their offer was only $3,000 off.
Wow.
So
How much?
Here's the scoop. I just be very candid.
Please.
Because I live in Phoenix, I didn't negotiate anymore with Open Door because my sister's out of country and the dust is still settling with mom's death.
Yeah.
But we are very firm that we want to walk out in our pocket with $250. And we feel it's very fair. It's a good house. Just like I said, it needs painting and it needs some flooring. Other than that, it's got a good front yard. It's got a good backyard. It's got, it's a nice little house.
Sure.
Great. Are you familiar with the neighborhood?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've lived here in Tucson. Probably 23 years. Yeah. Well, 30 years. Yeah.
Well, and we found out yesterday there's one other house in the neighborhood that's for sale. Apparently it has a contract. And the asking price was $329. So the bottom line is there's room for people like you to make some money. But we're pretty firm at that rate. And the challenge is that my sister's out of country. And I live in Phoenix. I was there. If you recalled yesterday, I would have said, "Come on down." I was there. Probably in reality, the closest time we can probably have it would be a good time for you to look at it. Would be a week from Monday.
Okay, so we're talking. Let me just look at my calendar here. We're talking 10. Let's see, a week from this coming Monday, or a week from this past Monday. A week? Are we talking like the 17th of June, or are we talking about the 10th of June? Uh-oh, sounds like you might be in the mountains again. I'm not sure if you can hear me or not. Yeah, okay, let me call him back here. That's one of the biggest problems I think here in Arizona is these mountains.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure if it's me or you.
It's the mountains. It's no big deal. Were you talking about the 17th or the 17th or the 10th?
No, I'm at home. I live in a neighborhood that's sort of a little niche, and we get our service sometimes is really poor. So yeah, we're looking at a week from Monday.
So that would be the 10th, or are we talking about the 17th? The week 17th. From the 17th? Okay, 17th. Yeah. Are we talking early in the morning, afternoon? What works best for you?
Probably best time for me would be about 10.
Right. Let me just write this down here. 10 in the morning. So what I'm going to do is I'll pencil it down to just meet you at the property at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then I'll just give you a jingle that day just to make sure that's still a good time and all that. But I most definitely would be interested in buying it myself. I'm a broker here in town who buys property. You can look me up if you'd like. It's at carlbuyshouses.com is with a K. But yeah, I'll be happy to take a look at it. And many times I'm able to offer better than the good folks at OfferPad or whatnot can, because simply I live here and I know the market a little bit better than they do. So, damn. Ooh, I hate these cell phones. Ooh. Got to set that appointment.
No, Tessa, I'm seeing how bad you really want to buy the house.
I like the way you put that. All right, so 10 o'clock on the 17th, and then I will look forward to seeing you then. I'm sorry, your name was what again, sir? Joe. Okay, all right.
Can you text me?
Yeah.
This is my cell phone. Can you text me the name of your company?
Yeah, I'll text you my name, my whole info, and everything. That way you'll have it right there handy. Okay?
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate you. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Okay. All right. Well, okay. So that's another one. So let's see. Let's reset this here. So what we're gonna do, it doesn't look like we're gonna probably get much of an opportunity to go into the. Does not look like we're going to get a chance to go into the appointment. I'm sorry, the articles like I had hoped. However, you'll see that hopefully these appointments was a little bit more beneficial for you. So with Joe here, as you can see, he's getting an offer from OfferPad. OfferPad, many times they'll make a halfway decent offer. However, does not always mean that you will not always be able to get in there and get something cracking. Remember, this a lot of times is a trust business, and people don't always trust people that they get on these offer pads or whatnot, whereas many times you can get face-to-face and actually make something happen. Well, guys, thank you so much for paying attention to me. I appreciate you listening to this. If you did get a chance to go ahead and check this out on the Red Pill Investor podcast, then thank you so much for being a subscriber. Please be sure to like, rate, and subscribe on iTunes. That'll help share the message as well. Thank you so much for paying attention, and I hope you have a powerful sales day. Bye-bye.